Blair, Onyx here, and so is, and we were just on the PWE Report.
Sean Lennon here with the PWE Report, and today we've got someone that doesn't just walk to the ring, she stalks it. She's one of the most unique and dangerous women on independent wrestling today, and you're seeing her from the Midwest battlegrounds to national stages, bringing a style that's equal parts tentacle, vicious, and unpredictable, and she's known as the Arachnid. And she steps between those ropes, somebody's going to get caught in the web, and we welcome to the PWE Report, Blair Onyx. And so how are you doing, Blair?
I'm good. How are you, Sean?
Doing well. Thank you for taking time to be on the show. It's great to have you.
Absolutely. Thank you for supporting us indie wrestlers.
Yes, for sure. Definitely. And you know, I appreciate you being on, and definitely have some questions for you. And we wanted to tell people where they can catch you at AAW, CSW, freelance, other promotions, which you can mention if you want to. Obviously, we'll have an audience that's more than just Chicagoland. But I know the next one that's announced in terms of a matchup is you and are teaming up with Noelle Summit versus Davina Thorne and Izzy B. So we'll talk about that match as well, and that's going to be for Reign Pro Wrestling by 01 Wrestling. That's not until the 28th, I believe. And we know that you have women's championships as well. So congratulations on winning the New Wave Women's Wrestling Championship.
Thank you very much, Sean.
Yes. So welcome on. I know you're a little under the weather, but how is everything else doing?
You know, you got to keep going. The flu is going around this time of year, so I wasn't super lucky this year, and we got flu A. But I tested negative today. My temperature's been down for like a few days. We're doing all good. Yeah, we're on the way back.
For sure, and that's great that you're doing well, and we're glad to have you on the show. Yep. My first question is about the Blair Onyx character. Where does it come from? And talk about how the presentation has evolved. We see a more spookier, scarier manner in your character as well.
Yeah, like that's the fun thing about wrestling. You get to kind of do what you want, especially on the independent level. I wanted to do something different with my character, probably like a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. And sometimes like with most character or life things, I just kind of throw something at the wall, see if it sticks. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. Mm-hmm. I've been having a lot of fun with my source gimmick character era. Yeah, and if I'm having fun, I feel like the fans can tell that I'm having fun.
Definitely. And talk about when you had the opportunity to debut that side of you. I believe it was at Freelance Wrestling where you kind of took a different turn.
Yeah, I'm really grateful for Freelance Wrestling. I feel like they always gave me the ability to just kind of do whatever I want with my character creatively. And I spend a lot of time changing. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes every part of my character is part of me. You want to be you times 10, right? That's what they all say. So I don't know, there's different parts of everyone. I think in Shrek they said everyone's like an onion, there's layers. I feel like I love what I'm doing now, but who knows where I'll be in like a few years. And I think that's the exciting part about wrestling.
Definitely. And you're talk about the type of wrestling you do. You're very technical, but you have a lot of speed, a lot of groundwork, but also aerial offense. So who were the wrestlers that shaped the way that you wanted to perform?
Well, the way I wrestle is more based from like my gymnastics background. I
Hmm.
used to do gymnastics when I was a kid. The thing that drew me into pro wrestling was all the characters. And so I feel like I have been influenced by a ton of wrestling characters, some including obviously Bray Wyatt, RIP, um, Aleister Black, I'm a big fan of. Just The Undertaker, I'm a big fan of The Undertaker. Um, I don't know, that I feel like we as performers try to create our own unique thing, but we're all influenced by somebody. And I think that's the cool part about wrestling. So I feel like I have taken influence from so many different people, like maybe even characters that have nothing to do with how I portray myself. Maybe the way someone carries themselves. And sometimes it's not even intentional. It can be subconscious. I can just really appreciate how someone carries themselves, and I'll find myself kind of trying to carry myself the same way just because I admire them. So those were some of the big ones though for me.
For sure. And now some of your peers, they really enjoy the work you're doing. Boz has told me, Steve Boz is
Oh
very
yeah.
high on you.
Oh, that's great. BOZ. I'm very grateful for that. He has been awesome to work with at Chicago Style Wrestling, so I'm grateful to be there. Hades too.
And then when you started out, it was the Black and Brave Academy. People saw the
Correct.
post recently with Seth Rollins. They may not have known
Yeah,
that you were affiliated with that school. And so
yeah,
talk about that and what you had to overcome to start training. I mean, there's finances, there's scheduling, and then,
yeah.
everything else in life that life throws at you.
So I think I've said this on some places before, but me joining wrestling was a very spur of the moment decision. I always knew I wanted it. I didn't think I would be able to do it because I wasn't
Mhm.
an athlete. I didn't like make the badminton team in high school. It was kind of like a joke I had with my friends that I just would be like a wrestler one day, but I just couldn't let it go. I went to college. I studied kinesiology. I have a bachelor's from UIC in that. I loved my time there too, but I could just never let wrestling go. So during my junior year summer, I went and I did the 3 month Black and Brave program. And financially, it was tough because it was they had somebody drop out, so I had a few months to make the money. I applied it, we made it happen, but it was very hectic. And then I moved over there. I've never lived away from home before. It was just such a shock, not just with the physical part of it, which was I was absolutely not ready for that. But I don't quit. I'm not a quitter. Um, but also the emotional and like life side of it because I've never done anything like that, live out of state, be by myself. But it was such a awesome summer. I remember leaving Iowa like feeling like a completely different person. So I'm really grateful for the experience and all of the help I've gotten from them.
For sure. And some of the names are like Matt Mayday and Merrick Brave, also part of that academy. And I
Oh
know them
yeah.
from their time in AAW, but
Yeah,
obviously seeing them as coaches than just performers had to be an eye-opening experience, right?
absolutely. Yeah.
And so I want to also talk about that everyone has a name that changes the heartbeat and brings out something darker and more dangerous. And for you, Blair Onyx, I feel that name right now is Davina Thorne. So can you talk about the thorn in your side?
She's not a thorn in my side. She's all sisters fight. Sometimes
Right,
she
right.
gets some, yeah, she gets a little too much time in front of that mirror and she starts acting crazy. Then I just gotta, but then I don't know, she has a mean DDT. Like
Yes.
she jumps all the way up in the air, so it's bigger than like a regular DDT. So when she is able to successfully hit that move on me, it it knocks me out. And then she's beaten me with it before. Then I get mad. But then I get
Hmm.
over it. And then, the cycle repeats.
For sure. And you and her had quite a few matches as of late. Well, actually during the summer, and then kind of was like a little break, and then you had the match on AAW Live. So
Yeah.
it was really cool.
Yeah, I love wrestling her. She's very good at what she does. She has so much potential, and I'm really excited to see where she's gonna go with her career.
For sure. And you were both part of that uprising, good as gold Rumble match. So, how did you feel that match was? How much fun is it? Because you get to interact with wrestlers, fellow wrestlers that you may not have had matches with before or had any kind of
Yeah,
interaction before.
yeah. It was fun. I had a blast. I got to watch Shaza get her head smashed with Allie's butt, and that was awesome. And then, but Shaza eliminated me from the Rumble.
Right.
I honestly like don't want to talk about Shaza anymore because I'm gonna get like really angry, and
Okay.
I don't think either of us want that. So, next question.
Okay. Let's go. And what's the hardest part of being an indie wrestler? Maybe the fans don't see.
We have to work very hard to support ourselves in this.
Hmm. Definitely. It's probably one of the toughest things, especially with travel. And I know you're booked like in many different states now. So
Yeah, no, it's a blessing. It's my dream. There's nothing I would rather do, but it's a hustle for sure. It's gonna take a a good commitment of your life.
right. And what kind of opponent brings out the best Blair Onyx?
Hmm, I don't know. That's a hard question. I love wrestling all different kinds of people, all different kinds of styles. Um, I get bored pretty easily, so I always am kind of like looking for the next thing to do, sometimes
Mhm.
to my own detriment. But I guess to answer your question, if I'm having a lot of fun with somebody, or if, for example, okay, I know I said I wasn't going to talk about Shaza anymore, but now I have to. When I really dislike somebody, like I dislike Shaza McKenzie, it's awesome to wrestle her because then I get to hit her and then I feel better. But yeah, that's it. That's my answer.
And you had a match with Devin Monroe in freelance wrestling. I know this was
Devon.
special. No, what's up?
His name is
Devon.
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 Hmm.
Uh, I know it was special to you. Can you share why?
Oh, the match, why it was
Yeah.
special? Oh my God. Devon is my bestie. We actually debuted in wrestling on the same exact day, different
Mhm.
states. And so we've been friends honestly for the majority, like 90% of my career. Um and it's really cool to have friends that you feel like you're gonna have for the rest of your life through wrestling. And so to be able to wrestle each other, I also think he's so absolutely talented and is having such an awesome freelance world title reign. That's my superstar. So to be able to wrestle him at Logan Square, it was it was so awesome. It was a really cool memory for both of us, and I definitely tasted the rainbow that night. I had a big bruise on my face when I got home.
Oh. For sure. And that was kind of like where you kind of took things a different direction. You had like the kind of the props or the accessories that came along with your character.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a very like creatively fulfilling era of my career.
And hopefully we see you back at the freelance wrestling one day soon.
Absolutely. Yeah, never say never.
And so is there a moment that you had realized like I actually belong in this business? And can you share that?
Um, yes and no. I feel like I've definitely gotten a lot of more confidence in the past few years, but it's kind of a slippery slope because the further up you go, it's bigger ponds, and then confidence will, go down. I
Mhm.
feel like my internal confidence just kind of depends on where I'm at in life. If I'm happy outside of wrestling, if I'm not happy outside of wrestling, I'm not going to be super confident, to be honest. But
Right.
if things are going well, I am zen, and I feel like I don't know, for me, it's always like more creatively fulfilled. I love to do different stuff. I love to do something that makes sense to me. So if I'm doing things like that, um, just so I don't know if that makes sense. If I'm doing things like that, then I'm pretty happy.
For sure. Yeah. Mental health is always a key factor, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's more important than anything in wrestling.
And you've had the opportunity to walk through the AEW locker room and do extra work for WWE
Yeah,
SmackDown in Chicago. So how are those experiences like? What do you learn from them?
they're always very surreal. It's awesome to see how everything works backstage and how big of a stage it can be. Whenever I'm at those, I try to sneak through a curtain and just go somewhere to the side if I'm not needed for anything, just to watch the wrestling live in the arena because I love watching wrestling live in
Mhm.
arenas. It's, I don't know, there's nothing like it. It makes me feel like I felt when I first started wrestling. So I always love going to those. It's always a blast. It's always you get there's great food, you know. It's an amazing time for me each time.
Definitely, and you get a little pay, you get paid as well, so it's positive,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
And when you were actually on SmackDown, where we actually saw you visibly in the crowd, you had kind of like had a reaction to a match or a spot in the match, so that was pretty cool. It was actually used on the Unreal show.
Yeah, that was
I should
very
say.
random because I remember that day and then I never thought anything of it, and then it was kind of randomly put on the documentary. It was cool.
Yes, for sure. And anything surprise you of how the major TV company operates?
Um, no, I it's like a machine. I expected a so. It's very cool to watch though. A little
Yeah.
overwhelming, but it's cool.
And what would success look like for you in a few years, like maybe 5 years from now?
Who's to say, you know? Um, man makes plan and God laughs. I don't know what's gonna happen. For me, success, I would love to just be kind of fulfilled personally, and I would love to be in a position where I maybe don't have to work as hard as I do now. Um,
Mhm.
I I absolutely value hard work, but there's a lot of things that I have to sacrifice currently, like time with my family, friends, just
Sure.
because it's such a hustle. I've lost a lot of friends since I pursued wrestling 7 years ago because it it makes you unfortunately kind of selfish because I
Yeah.
have so many responsibilities, not just training, but the gym and then my diet and then the travel and then you got to work outside of it. I don't, it's very hard to make a lot of things and keep friendships fruitful. And there's some guilt in that, but I would love to have the ability to have like maybe just like a little more free time to do that kind of stuff.
For sure. Definitely. Travel is also something you like to do.
Yeah, I love traveling. I love seeing new places. I'm actually kind of scared of flying. I think it's a control thing, and
Okay.
the fact that I don't like heights like that at all. But maybe I really hope it's one of those things that you get used to because I got flown out to Seattle this year once and I was just holding my cross the whole time because a phobia is a phobia. I don't enjoy flying whatsoever. I do enjoy driving though. I know driving's technically more dangerous, but it's very peaceful to me. So driving, big fan. Flying,
Yeah, I hear you. And for the season premiere of CSW, how do you feel you getting your hand raised in this? Well, first of all, it's a double Jeopardy match, so that's a different kind of animal altogether. And you're
yeah,
facing a fellow Black and Brave Academy graduate in Amina. So
yeah,
for the first match,
I'll be honest, when I first saw the match, I'm kind of a newcomer to CSW. I used to work there when I first started, but I kind of took
right?
another path for a little while. But this is my first kind of match like this. I just hope the worst part about this is that Shaza is in this match, and I just hope that she is mature enough to let me focus on my match with Amina and she can focus on her match with Haven because
Yeah,
they're two separate singles you know? So if
yeah.
she gets in my way, I kind of want to switch the topic now.
Okay. Well, we're looking forward to you having a fun match at CSW,
Thank
and
you.
it's cool because you've had the opportunity to do stuff with CSW, like wrestle with PCO.
That was awesome. Yeah, he was so cool.
So how was it like being with a veteran like PCO and going against Warhorse and of course Shaza? But I getting that match together.
You know, the thing about veterans is that they figure it out. And I just learned so much. Everyone in that match was much more experienced than me. And so I learned a lot from all of them. Especially, it was really awesome to learn from Warhorse because I've never gotten to wrestle him before. And so
Okay.
to just pick his brain and then have him kind of, lead the way was awesome.
But that's great that you had the opportunity to work with him for the first time.
Yeah, he really knows how to figure things out, man.
Yeah, he's also very intense. I mean, you've seen him live like the match with Ryan Matthews, where he was chopping the crap out of his chest and pretty intense.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and he unfortunately injured. He
Yeah.
broke his leg bone. I believe it was the fibula. So, I think there's still a GoFundMe up. So, I'd love to
Yeah.
plug that because I was there that night. It was at Glory Pro. It was very serious and scary.
Okay.
So, I think he just underwent surgery. So, all my best wishes and prayers to Warhorse, my vet.
Yeah, for sure. And we wish him the best here at PWE because he's been a staple of the Midwest for quite some time.
Absolutely. Yeah,
And have you had the opportunity to do anything like travel for like the WrestleMania weekends and stuff? Have you had the opportunity to do that stuff yet?
I have. I did it more so in my um earlier time in my career. I think the
Hmm.
last one I've been to was Dallas. My own fault. I don't know. I It's a very, very hectic week.
Yeah.
It's a lot of hustle, but you know what? I every single year that I don't go to WrestleMania weekend, it's sometimes it's just a matter of my resources. I just
Right.
can't really do it. Or I don't know. Sometimes I just don't really bet on myself. I've kind of want to go out there this year, but sometimes it's just a matter of resources, unfortunately.
Yeah. And there's almost like everybody's there. So even as if you're like hosting a show, I mean, or promoting a show, it's the same thing. There's
Yeah.
so much competition.
But at the same time, like, yeah, there's more competition, but who cares? That's so much better for networking. I feel like
Yes.
it's always it's a little bit harder in my opinion to get bookings on WrestleMania weekend, but I remember how excited I used to get when I used to get even like one or two. And you know, it is a matter of resources, but I also believe like if you really want something, you can make it happen. And then maybe just my goals for the past few years were just to elevate my overall brand
Sure.
versus and put all my resources into that. But I feel like this year, I don't know, Vegas sounds kind of fun. We'll see.
Yes, the weather is
Yeah.
nice, especially the harsh winter we're going through right now.
Yeah.
I also wanted to mention about some of the other show promotions you're doing. It's great to see you having championships. So when you become like the New Wave Wrestling Championship, what do you feel about that role when that happens? Or I believe you won another one at Central States Wrestling recently.
Yeah. One in Indiana and one in Kansas City. So it's cool to win titles. I don't know. I always ask to bring it home so I can show my mom. My mom likes to see those. Um, I don't know. I'm looking at them right now, but it's cool to have a company trust you enough to kind of make you one of their prominent roles in the company. And I feel like my hard work also plays a role into why I'm able to kind of win more titles. And it's awesome to start the year by winning a new title. I don't know. It happened like right when the new year started, and I was like, wow, what a great start to the year.
Yes. And another thing is, I believe at Second Wrestling, that was the first time I saw you walking into a match of the championship too. So that's pretty cool. You were the Maxwell Street Heritage Champion.
Yes, that I lost, but
You
it's
did
okay.
lose it.
I know. Thanks for reminding me, Sean.
Well, I was just gonna say that's an accomplishment to me that I got to see you walk into a match holding a belt.
Yeah, thank you. I miss it too.
And then you've gotten the opportunity to work with Raven. So how was that like? Silas Young and Raven, and unexpectedly, right? So, but um,
Yeah.
how cool was that having them appear and be a part of that match,
It was
especially
awesome.
Raven?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was an amazing experience. Silas Young taught me so much. Raven taught me so much. Sometimes some matches are just so like random and cool that it feels like a fever dream, and that was
Right,
definitely one of those nights. And I'm very proud of our performance that night too. It was cool.
for sure. You've actually gone to a number of other promotions, like you and Davina Thorne went all the way, I believe, to what was it, Nebraska for a promotion?
Yeah.
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 So
I think
how
we were in
cool is that?
Omaha. Yeah, I remember that. It was It was a very cool venue. I remember it looked like a whole like stadium arena. I think it was like a party conference center or something like that, but I remember the venue was really cool and it was cool to get to wrestle Davina there.
For sure. And Gali Lucha Libre, you've gotten to take on some of the best there at Gali, and they have a
Yes,
women's championship that has not been defended. Mr. Kate held it previously, but I don't know if it's still it's not even vacated yet. But how much would you like to get your hands on that belt?
absolutely. I would love to be the Galley Lucha Libre Women's Champion, but I don't know. They don't tell me much.
Yes,
I
we don't
show
know
up.
much.
Yeah, that's the fun thing about Galley. It's sometimes it's a surprise.
Yes, and how much do you enjoy working with those fans? That's a different crowd right there than the other
Awesome.
crowd.
Yeah. No, it's been awesome to work there. I actually want to kind of share a funny story about something me and Davina did at Galley.
Sure.
Um, Sean, are you aware of the pro wrestler Trent Wrigley?
Yes, of course I know Trent. He's been on the show before.
Wonderful. So, are you aware that he's a surfer?
Of course.
All right. So, me and Davina, we decided to pull a prank. So, we reached out to the promoter, Carlos, and we said, Carlos, we want to pull a prank on Trent. And so on a live show, we switched out Trent's music from his regular music to Naughty Girl by Beyonce.
Oh
And
wow.
it was one of the most special moments of my career.
Okay. So you have that humorous side of you.
Oh, absolutely. I love to pull a prank.
Well, I'm sure Trent will remember that for the rest of his career.
He actually texted me and he said that he thought about switching his music
Oh
to that.
really?
No, he did, but I don't think he's going to.
Okay. That
But if
that'd
he
be
does,
funny. Yeah, that'd be cool if he did switch it up. And obviously
yeah,
he's been doing his own thing at freelance and all the
yeah,
other promotions. So I feel
yeah.
like a lot of wrestlers may come to you for advice at certain times. You feel like that's a possibility, and some of the younger wrestlers you mentioned, Trent, Davina, and
Yeah, sometimes you know, I try my best to kind of give my perspective of things, but the thing about it is sometimes I'm wrong because I don't know everything at all. I I made a lot of mistakes in my career, and I feel like I've learned a lot from, you know, the mistakes that I've made. So I try to maybe pass that on, be like, hey, maybe don't do this. It didn't work out the best for me, but also everyone's different. Maybe the best advice for me is not the best advice for somebody else. So I try to keep that in mind before I like project what I think onto something. That's something I've been working on because sometimes you just want help, but sometimes you just need to chill out. Like maybe the people just need to figure the things out on their own. But if someone comes to
right.
me, I'll definitely like put my whole brain into it and really think about it from there and what would be best from my perspective. But that's the thing. I'm not always right.
Mhm. And you've also have had a lot of experience training with Ali now at the Chicago Wrestling Center. So how
Yeah.
has that been? I feel like that's more of like an advanced place for wrestlers to go once they've like graduated, right?
So there's different levels. He has a beginner's class, so
Okay,
some people have never even, you know, taken a bump, and then he has an intermediate, and then he has an advanced class. So there's different levels. It's been awesome to train there. I've been there for about like 4 or 5 months now. I feel like I've definitely noticed a difference in my wrestling. So I'm really grateful for all the help that I've gotten from there.
that's cool. I'm glad you've had that experience, and
Yeah, me too.
that's great that you've had the opportunity to learn from the best. Ali is
Hmm.
one of those. Very astute, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And before that, did you train with like Isaiah Velasquez and kind of GPA or from freelance
Yeah,
wrestling? And
and Kylie Ray, yeah, at
yeah,
Freelance. I'm so grateful for my time there too. I feel like every single training school that I've ever been to, I've learned a different part of pro wrestling. So I just love to take seminars and stuff too. And there's always something somebody can teach you.
hmm
So I never want to like stop learning. I hate when I get comfortable, I get really like antsy. So
right.
I like to kind of push myself and put myself in situations where I suck and I'm bad at it and I'm the little fish. And it's more stressful that way, but it makes me feel more at peace because I feel like I'm pushing myself.
Yes, for sure. And when you look at everything you've been through with pro wrestling, how do you feel it's shaped you? It's shaped you as a person.
You know, some good, some bad. It's kind of all I know. I started wrestling when I was like 20. So now I'm 28. I don't really know much adult skills outside of like what I've learned in pro wrestling and traveling and being on the road. I feel like it's taught me a lot about how to maybe talk to people and how to kind of hustle and do your own thing and start your own brand. But there's some things where I look at peers that I went to high school with that I feel a lot behind in. And I feel like due to my sacrifice of making wrestling my number one priority, there are certain things that I unfortunately cannot do at this age yet. So I've been trying to kind of build my life outside a little bit more while
hmm
still kind of going really all in on wrestling. So I feel like the next few years of my life are kind of going to determine a lot of things. No pressure.
Right, of course. Well, I feel like you've really established yourself, and I feel like outside of Chicago, that's an important thing too. Like you could work like the same promotions. We could see you at every show that has a every promotion, but that's
Yeah,
around.
I'm so grateful for like every single company that took a chance on me even when I sucked and gave me an opportunity to make mistakes because
hmm
I made a lot of them, but I don't know. I watched this video I think on Instagram this morning. I think it was Alistair Black's school. It was saying that the key to success is failure and just keep failing. You keep failing and keep putting yourself situations where you're going to fail because that's where you're going to learn the most. And I really believe in that.
That's cool. He would probably know the best because it took him a while to get where he is at.
Yeah, I've always thought he was really cool.
For sure. And when you meet some of these wrestlers, you try to that are they're bigger names. You try to pick their brain a little bit or ask them questions.
Absolutely, if the opportunity arises. I also like to just kind of read the situation. I don't
Sure,
want to if someone clearly like is really tired or needs space, I'm not going to, you know, maybe that's a detriment of my own, but I don't want to annoy people sometimes. It honestly is a detriment of my own sometimes. Sometimes I feel like I could put myself out more, but I will absolutely go up to them, shake their hand, and say hello. It's just a basic sign of respect that I feel like is super easy to do.
for sure. And women's wrestling is really exploded the past few years. So it's exciting that you're a part of that here on the independent scene. But even we've seen it on TV. Women are main eventing, headlining shows, and the pay is obviously have risen for them as well. So how excited are you to see that happen and
Um,
that point?
I'm sorry, what is the question?
Oh,
Help me
how
with.
excited are you for women's wrestling coming to this point of where it's
Oh,
almost on equality for men and women?
I'm very grateful for how much women's wrestling has evolved, and I feel like I'm in a very blessed era of women's wrestling. I remember my first year into wrestling, it was like the first ever women's Hell in a Cell and all the first ever matches. So I feel
Mhm.
like I started wrestling in such an awesome time, and nothing's absolutely perfect in most things in life, but I'm so grateful for how much things have changed. And I feel like throughout my entire career, I've always had ample opportunities and places to that will take a chance on me and give me um, a good amount of time to go out there and mess up.
Yes, for sure. We actually saw you do the F5 like 5 or 6 years ago. So how did that come about? That just popped in my head. We got to see you do that F5
I
move.
think I hit it this year. I bring it out sometimes.
Okay.
Yeah, no, it's a fun move. It's a ride for both of us. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a fun move to do.
for sure, for sure. I don't remember that you had done that previously, like I think freelance wrestling and also Rise.
Yeah,
So it's cool
yeah,
that you've gotten to bring it back too.
yeah. It's great to hit the F5, Sean.
Anybody you're looking to forward to hitting that on next?
Trent Wrigley.
Okay, he would take it pretty well too.
Yeah, yeah, I would throw him out the ring.
Hopefully you'll get that opportunity soon. I mean, he's kind of getting these matches at freelance that are pretty
Yeah,
special. So
that's awesome. I'm really happy to hear that.
yeah, and for you, what is going to be next? Do you have any shows you'd like to announce or anything in the horizon?
Keep an eye out on. I'll be at Second Wrestling shows this month in January.
Okay,
I'll be at the Chicago style wrestling shows this year. I'm looking to go up the ranks in AAW more this year, and Kansas City, Central States Wrestling. Um, I'm their Heart of a Champion Women's Champion. I'm defending it against Nixie coming up.
okay.
Um, and then New Wave Pro. I'm their women's champion now as well. And I will be there in February. And all of the shows I always post to my Instagram and my social media, they're always on my profile.
Cool. Is there one match that you recommend everybody checking out that's been posted for the past year?
That I've already had.
Yes, that you already had.
Good question. I was a big fan of the match I recently had against Shazza McKenzie
Okay.
at Glory Pro Wrestling. And I think it's on High Spots. I'm a big fan of that one. I brought her a gift, the Shazza head,
Yes.
and it's just so shocking how ungrateful of a woman she is. And did she get me a gift? What do you think? No, she
Mhm.
didn't.
Well, at least you tried. You know, I saw
Mm-hmm.
that head. It's kind of weird. I won't lie.
All right. Are we done here?
Yes. Well, I appreciate you, Blair, for being on a PW report, and thank you again.
Thank
If
you,
you want to,
Sean. Thank you for having me.
yes, I want to tell everybody to make sure to follow you and support you if you come to town. Get your ticket and see you live. This is the kind of talent that becomes a story. You'll be able to say you saw her before the world caught on, and appreciate you sharing your stories on the PW report. And